Morning, Albert.
Oh, Mr. Gilbert. Don't see too much of you around here anymore.
They keep me chained to my desk. How's the wife?
Oh, very good, all things considered.
And the resident geniuses are in there cooking up trouble.
I expect so. Morning, sir.
Morning. What's this all about?
Well, it's these new plastic brakes on the Avenger. They're blowing.
Huh?
Remember, we asked for more time to test. We wanted to start...
Never mind all that. What do you mean they're blowing?
Just that. We've been running tests in the hydraulic machine at the same pressure output as the car's power assist. Servo puts out 2,000 psi. Brake lines pop 1,750.
Show me. All right, what do you want me to do?
We call the entire line.
You crazy?
We got this new brake from our truck division. It's tough, it won't rot, it'll withstand pressures up to 4,000 psi. We could convert the entire Avenger series in no time at all. 6 weeks.
No, that's impossible.
These Avengers are dangerous. The brake line's liable to pop like that at any time, without any warning.
All right. We'll send the dealers the usual confidential memo instructing them to exchange the existing brake lines with the new ones when the customers bring their cars in for normal service check.
You want to help me, honey?
Mommy, look it.
I hope you don't mind us dropping in.
Not at all.
Oh, this is Marty Wojeck, Nina Eden.
How do you do, Mrs. Eden? I hope you don't think this is an imposition.
No, not at all. I was just gardening.
Did you do all of this, or does Bob help?
He doesn't have much time. He told me how your brother had helped him. We're both terribly grateful.
Hi.
Come and see my garden.
Excuse me.
That's a rose. Those are chrysanthemums. That's a rose and that's one. I don't know what that is, but it's going to be blue.
Does your sister have a garden?
Nope. That's a peony.
Would you like some tea, Mrs. Wojeck?
No, we just dropped in for a moment.
Why don't we all have lunch one day?
Oh, I'd like that. Why don't we? That'd be very nice. Why don't I call you?
Beginning of the week?
I'll call you.
Hi, Nina.
Hello, Merle.
Be sure and call, please.
I will. It's been a pleasure meeting you, Mrs. Wojeck.
I've enjoyed it.
Ah! Nina!
That's not very much.
Who's Bateman?
Man with a mortgage, not important. How are things going out west?
Poor family. His father had a shoe repair business. His mother worked as a cashier in a restaurant. Still does.
Who paid for his education?
His father belonged to a lodge, a sort of mutual benefit society. They put a half a dozen kids through school.
Can you find out more about that lodge?
You sure about Bateman being a lightweight?
I didn't say he was a lightweight. I said he had a mortgage. Where are you going?
I got a mortgage, too.
Most men have, Mr. Carter.
Where are you going?
We're going to pick up a case history on the Benjamin kid. He's going in for surgery tomorrow morning. And after that barn...
Yeah, well, I wanted to talk to you about the Edens.
Eden, what Eden?
Edens, Arnie's friend. Don't you remember? I told you at dinner.
Oh, yeah. I gave Arnie a couple of names. I told him to tell Eden to try to get an appointment with Frank Henderson at the Gunner Pavilion. Henderson? His own kid's in a home.
Oh. Is he good?
He's one of the best. That must be Little Boy Blue. That won't be long.
I'll wait up.
Later. Wanna come up? Won't be long. Steve.
Come on, Steve. That's the boy.
No, get
Take a big breath.
Yeah.
That's it. Come on, Steve. Just one big breath. Big breath.
Oh, come on, Barnes.
How do you feel?
How the hell do you think I feel?
Just take it easy for a minute.
No.
Now just... I told you. Want some aspirin?
No.
You're very lucky.
Yeah?
I mean it. That's a pro job. If he wanted to, he could have put you away for good.
Oh.
There's a slight concussion, Doctor.
How slight?
Slight. A couple of days in bed should do it.
Get me out of this rig.
Here.
No, thanks.
Try it. Okay.
You're a very lucky man.
So they tell me.
An inch further back.
Oh, shut up.
Oh, ouch, I'm sorry. You all right?
How's the noggin?
Oh, come on, let's get out of here.
Coffee?
Yes?
Here. It'll cheer you up.
If you don't want that, I'll take it. Man, that's coffee.
You two all right?
See you, Sergeant. Thanks.
I'll drop around in the morning.
Dr. Wojeck, hello.
Who is it?
Mamusha. Jak się masz? Tak. Wszystko dobrze. Dzieci zdrowe? Co się stało? Czy wiesz, co to domowić? Czy pytasz o mnie? Zadzwonię do policji, jeżeli wróci dobrze?
Czy masz jakiś problem?
Nie.
Dlaczego pyta te pytania?
Słuchaj, nie martw. Skończymy lepiej rozmowę, bo będzie za drogo.
Chodźmy, Martę. Słyszał jeden mi.
Dobrze, dobranoc. Muszę.
Stefan, czy chodzisz do kościoła?
What the hell was that all about?
Is your mother all right?
There's some guys in the neighborhood asking questions about me.
That place, I believe in it.
All right, Arnie. I'd like to talk to you. Privately.
Make an appointment. I've got a full calendar.
It's important, Arnie.
Important to who?
A friend of yours.
What friend?
Privately, Arnie.
5 minutes, no more. I've got to be back in less than an hour and I haven't had my lunch.
Ut quod alicibus est alus fuat acra venenum. What is food to one man is bitter poison to others. Lucretius.
Go get the table. Order me a double scotch on the rocks.
Want me to take your briefcase?
No, I may need it as a weapon. Mickey's fillet. Come on, Charlie. Okay. Who is this mysterious friend?
Steve Wojeck.
Come again?
Your friend Wojeck is in deep trouble. You can help get him untroubled.
Really? How?
By getting him to change his mind about appearing at the preliminary hearing in Ottawa. We know he talked to you about it.
You've got his phone bugged.
What's so fascinating about Dr. Wojeck? Hmm?
You're confusing me with someone else.
I ask you a question, Mr. Ryan. I'd be obliged if you'd answer me.
Take your hand off.
You've been tailing him for 3 days. What's so interesting?
Look, I asked you nice, now take your hand off.
I've been tailing you for 3 days. You're pretty sloppy for a pro, you know that.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I know your name is Ryan. Ryan Carter. You're a private investigator.
Get off my back.
Let's go.
Go? Go where?
Dr. Wojeck has sworn out a complaint against you. I'm charging with watching and besetting and being a public mischief.
What have you been smoking?
Let's go. Come on. Your left hand. Easy now. That's what you use on Dr. Wojeck?
You kidding? I wouldn't use that, except maybe in self-defense.
You really got yourself a bag full this time, haven't you, Mr. Carter? Carrying a concealed weapon, assault with a deadly weapon. You really bought yourself a bag full. Let's go.
I will not send Linda away. She won't understand.
She understands, all right. You know she can get away with murder, and you won't do a thing to stop her. Well, you'd better take her, because if you don't, I'm going to have to commit her when I get back.
I won't let you do that.
What are you going to do? Run away again?
I don't know what I'll do, but I won't be separated from her.
Darling, I'm not going to argue with you anymore. But either you do it or Karen and I are leaving. It's as simple as that.
Simple? You make a decision like that and you call it simple? You can't go, not like this. We've got to...
What? Spend the rest of our lives hanging from crosses because we have an emotionally disturbed child? That's not for me. I've got another kid to think about, and a wife, and a job, and a life.
Bob! Bob!
What the hell do you want from me?
I need your help.
Go help Linda.
Mommy, I fixed the flowers.
What am I gonna do?
Nothing. I told you I fixed them. Want to come and see what I did?
Come on, darling.
I fixed the flowers, Linda. Karen fell. She fell, Mommy.
Are you all right? Oh, does it hurt anywhere? Are you all right? Finished?
Not yet. You want a drink?
Yes, please.
Do you want to take this shirt?
I don't know where my cufflinks are.
They're in your bedside table. Aren't they? Look at it. Hi, Arnie.
Hello, Marty. Is Steve in?
Yeah, he's in the kitchen. Come on in. I'll be with you in a minute.
How are you?
I'm fine. I'm looking forward to seeing the capital.
Ottawa restaurants. Pack a lunch. Look, I don't want to frighten either of you, but I think your phone's tapped.
I've also been followed for the past couple of days.
What?
Yeah, Byron looked after it. How'd they find out over the phone?
Well, I told you about Charlie Heimbaker. He knows that you called me when you got that telegram from the Prime Minister. There's only one way he could have found out. He also offered me a bribe if I'd keep you out of Ottawa.
How much you get?
But isn't there a law against that sort of thing, like invasion of privacy?
No.
Oh, my God, that's terrifying. You mean there's no protection in this country from that sort of thing?
Nope.
Where you going?
To pack my bags. I'm going with you.
Me too.
Cheers.
Hello, you filthy, rotten, disgusting bastard.
Out.
The Speaker has placed the bill on the order paper. With any luck, I'll be able to introduce it before the House prorogues.
Have you given copies to the other members?
It's a nonpartisan bill.
We should hope to gain support from all parties concerned. If only we could have got that bill read before the hearing.
Well, Mr. Gilbert, with the support of your industry, I'm certain the bill will be passed without any trouble.
Besides that, the members of the hearing are members of the House. It seems safe enough. They won't opt for a royal commission.
Well, I only hope you two are right. Yeah? Oh, just a moment.
Excuse me. Thank you. Yes? Who? Never heard of him. I see. All right, ask him to come in. One of Carter's men. I'm Heimbaker.
Where's Carter? He told me to speak to no one but you. It was pretty explicit. Where's Carter? Out west checking on, you know.
Now tell me what you've got. I can guarantee it goes no farther than these four walls.
If you say so.
I saw you on television the other night, didn't I? You're from Ottawa.
That's right.
You're the member of Parliament, Mr. Mason. Those news guys certainly gave you a rough time of it.
Look, I haven't got all day. What have you got?
That's a recording and a transcript of a conversation between Wojeck and Arnold Bateman. Bateman says you offered him a bribe if he could convince Wojeck not to appear at the preliminary hearing.
Is that true?
Bateman and I were alone when I talked to him.
Is Bateman right?
I just said that the company would express its gratitude in a substantial way, or words to that effect. What difference does it make? No one heard. Is Carter going to be at the hearings tomorrow?
He said he'll either call you here today or see you in Ottawa tomorrow. Pleasure meeting you, Mr. Mason. And you, sir?
Gilbert.
Pleasure meeting you, Mr. Gilbert. Good day, gentlemen. I'll see you tomorrow, Mr. Heimbaker.
Don't tell me you're going to be in Ottawa, too.
You bet.
I don't know how much we can do. It's almost too late. Except for the outbursts of violence, she's almost catatonic. You understand what that means? I don't think she should be removed from the clinic.
You mean you want her to stay here? Now?
Yes. I don't think she could stand another separation from you. She's built up a fantastic dependence. We can put her on tranquilizers for a while, and we'll see what happens. Why didn't you do this 5 years ago? Your other child, how is she?
Fine.
When is your husband getting back from his trip?
Tomorrow, the next day. I'm not sure.
You both come to see my assistant. Linda will be fine here, Mrs. Eden, believe me.
Can I see her?
No. Your own feelings are of minimal importance to me. I'm only concerned about the child. I don't think you're capable of sane, rational behavior at this moment. And I don't want to upset the child any further.
What are her chances of recovery?
I don't know.
everyone here realizes this is a preliminary hearing to ascertain whether a full-scale royal commission on the auto industry in this country is warranted. Now, we are here to listen to arguments, not to make decisions. Our main concern is auto safety, or the lack of it. Dr. Wojeck, as this meeting was convened at your behest, would you please care to state your arguments? Dr. Wojeck, if you prefer to sit, please do so. This gathering is informal.
It is the function of my office to prevent needless deaths. An ancillary function is to keep records of the deaths we could not prevent. I am here today, sir, to present you with a record of needless deaths, particularly as it pertains to the automobile industry in this country, and to present you with information and proofs that will prove the automobile industry guilty of the most flagrant negligence and indifference. This book, sir, is an engineering report prepared by one of the largest insurance companies in North America. It records 10 years of research and development. The edition that you have is the third edition who appeared during this 10-year period. It proves conclusively that it is possible to engineer a car on a mass production basis that will protect the lives of the car occupants under the most violent accident conditions. It has been available free of charge to all the major automakers in the United States and Canada since it was first published. The auto industry have, with studied indifference, ignored this report, resulting in a ghastly toll of needless deaths.
I think I'd like to hear the industry's reaction to your charges. Mr. Heimberger.
Well, I, of course, cannot speak for the entire industry. I'm here as a representative of my own company. I'm sure our competitors are capable of speaking for themselves and will undoubtedly do so.
Dr. Wojeck said that the industry is guilty of negligence and indifference. I believe those were his words. This accusation, sir, is untrue. At IMC, our prime consideration is the safety of our customers. Our engineers have seen this document that the doctor has presented and have studied it thoroughly. And they, may I remind you, sir, have been designing cars for a lot longer than 10 years. It is their opinion that the adoption of the features recommended in the report are a needless waste of the customer's money. The adoption of these features would price the automobile beyond the reach of the average car buyer.
Dr. Wojeck, can you tell us just how much more a car with these safety features would cost?
Yes, sir. On page 127 in that book, you will see a chart with a set of figures. The average increase for all makes and models is $130. Now, I hardly think $130 is too much of an outlay. It will protect a man's life and the life of his family.
Hardly.
Now, it is quite apparent from the number of cars that have been recalled this year for serious and dangerous faults that the auto industry is not producing safe cars.
It is also quite apparent, Doctor, that the recalls prove that our prime consideration is the safety of our customers.
All it proves is that you run a sloppy shop. In your company alone, during the past 6 months, you have recalled 14,000 cars of one model because hood latches were faulty, 29,000 of another model because of rear brake line failures, 2,000 of another model because door locks didn't lock. Shall I go on?
Please do.
11,000 cars in your top line were recalled because of faulty steering. 500 cars in another line were recalled because of leaky brake cylinders. You will see that IMC is by no means the worst offender. Now, I have here 3 statements from executives in 3 tire companies who would prefer to remain anonymous, stating that they are forced to reduce structural strength of their tires because of price conditions set down by their biggest customers, the auto manufacturers. Indeed, the president of one of these companies does not use his own product on his own car.
Whose tires does he use, Doctor?
His car is equipped with radial ply tires imported from Europe.
Mr. Heimberger, does the auto industry dictate the price structure to the tire industry?
Absolutely not, sir. This is still a free enterprise system, despite Dr. Wojeck's ambitions. And the tire manufacturers compete against each other in the traditional free enterprise way.
Mr. Cassidy, I would like Mr. Heimberger to clarify his remark about my ambitions.
Gladly.
Dr. Wojeck, who paid for your education? It wasn't your parents. I understand they were struggling immigrants. Could you tell us who paid for what has to be a rather expensive education?
A mutual benefit society that my father belonged to.
The Polish-Canadian Friendship League?
The Canadian-Polish Friendship League.
Just briefly, Doctor, how would you describe the politics of this league? Right wing, left wing, center of the road?
Apolitical.
Apolitical. You mean with no particular political philosophy?
Mr. Heimberger, I don't see that this interrogation is pertinent to the matter on hand. I may be being obtuse, but I'd be grateful if you'd lead me.
It is particularly pertinent, sir. Dr. Wojeck is a member of a Communist Front organization, and his reasons for appearing here are not, as he indicates, to prevent needless deaths, but rather to initiate an insidious attack on the free enterprise system as embodied by the automotive industry.
What is your response to this accusation, Doctor?
Without using any four-letter words.
I didn't quite catch that one.
Forgive me, sir. I was cautioning my friend to select his vocabulary with prudence.
A wise caution, Doctor.
The Canadian-Polish Friendship League, or the CPFL, is about as communistic as the IODE. It is, or was, a society set up to help indigent Polish immigrants. It also functioned as a burial society for those people in the community who could not afford funerals. In 1938 and 39, 11 members of the society were given citations by the RCM police for their assistance in penetrating an actual communist organization. My daddy was one of those people cited.
Mr. Heimberger, do you have a response or an apology?
At the moment, neither. I'm waiting for a colleague who will provide this committee with proof of Dr. Wojeck's political sympathies.
Would you like to wait for Mr. Heimberger's colleague, Doctor, or do you have more information you'd like to present?
No, I'd like to present two more pieces of information, if I may, please. Now, this is a deposition from Mr. Arnold Bateman, who is sitting on my left. Dated May the 30th, 1967. I, J. Arnold Bateman, do swear that on the 15th day of May, I was offered a bribe by Mr. Heimberger on behalf of IMC to use my influence to keep Dr. Steve Wojeck...
That's an outright lie. I've never spoken to Mr. Bateman.
This is Sergeant of Detectives Byron James of Metropolitan Police.
This is my deposition, sworn before a magistrate this morning in the city. The tape is a recording of a conversation between myself, Mr. Heimberger, Mr. John Gilbert, and Mr. Peter Mason. The tape supports Mr. Bateman's statement that he was offered a bribe by Mr. Heimberger, acting as an agent for IMC.
You say Mr. Peter Mason was present? Mr. Peter Mason, the member for St. Martin's?
Yes, sir. You can hear his voice on the tape.
If I may, sir, I'd like to interrupt to offer an explanation to quell these ugly rumors or conjecture.
Yes, please do.
Thank you very much. You may know that quite recently I presented a private member's bill to the Speaker. Now, this bill, if adopted by the House, would compel all manufacturers to conform to Canadian standards of auto safety. Now, my being in Mr. Heimberger's office was part of my duty in looking into this entire matter. Now, in my bill, I proposed a modus vivendi whereby these changes in auto safety could be made without any great trouble, any discomfort, any hardship to the employer or to the employees. My concern, sir, is with both groups who happen to be the constituents in the riding that I represent in the House. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mason. Dr. Wojeck, do you have anything further to present?
Yes, I do. If this government doesn't take the strongest measures immediately to protect the people of this country from the automobile, it will be guilty of the grossest negligence.
Dr. Wojeck, believe me, we understand your concern. It is not the intention of your government to sit idly by and do nothing. You may be assured that we will consider your evidence. You may be assured that we will discuss it with Mr. Mason. And if there's any way of combining your facts with Mr. Mason's bill, we will do that as well. May I thank you, Doctor, for all your trouble.
Well, what the hell, you tried. Come on, let's go and get a drink.
Just a minute. Mr. Heimbecker, I'm going to make you a promise. Every time one of your cars is involved in a fatal accident, I'm going to summons you and make you view the body. Every time.
I just talked to Dr. Henderson, darling. It's really the best thing that could have happened.
I feel so guilty, Bob. I just can't.
Now, stop that. It's over. She's in the hospital. They're going to take good care of her. And you and I and Karen can start living again. Look, I was going to stay here today, but now I want to leave. I could just make that noon flight.
Do you want me to meet you at the airport?
Well, sure. Could you get someone to look after Karen? Maybe we could have lunch together or something. Just the two of us. I'd like to.
So would I. I'll check the arrival time and I'll meet you.
I love you. Hey, did you hear me? I said I love you.
I love you too, Bob. Hurry home.
I will, darling. Bye.
Bye.
Mommy, when's Daddy coming home?
Oh, soon, darling, soon. Come on. I want to talk to Mrs. Whitaker.
Aren't you going to lock it?
No.
Hello?
You going out?
Wish I was. I'm having one of those dumb bridge parties with a bunch of gabby broads. Why, problems?
No, not really. I'm just going to the airport to pick up Bob, and I wanted to leave Karen somewhere.
Oh, Mommy!
Sorry, sweetie. It's just one of those stupid things I've got to do because it's my turn.
Don't worry about it. How about drinks tonight? About 8, 8:30?
Lovely.
Okay, Missy. Go get your face scrub and get your pink dress on.
Is everything all right now?
I think so.
8 o'clock.
Come on, Mommy!
Don't scream.
Come on.
You sure you don't have to go? No stops between here and the airport. You're sure now? Oops. There. Is that too tight?
No. Could we have the radio on?
Wouldn't you rather sing?
Okay, what do we sing?
He promised to buy me.
Will Daddy bring me a surprise?
He always has, hasn't he? Ready, steady, go.
Dear,
what can the matter be? Dear, dear, what can the matter be? Oh, dear, what can the matter be? Daddy's so long at the fair. Do you want to talk now?
Sure.
What's going to happen in Ottawa?
Nothing. Yeah, maybe one of these days they'll get around to passing the bill. They're never going to investigate any car manufacturer. Too much big money involved. I don't give a damn anyway.
Oh, yes, you do.
What's the point? You present them with all kinds of proofs? What do you get? A nice pat on the head? And a rotten system. Imagine an MP being owned by a private company. I don't know who said it, but someone once said, people get the kind of government they deserve. And it's true.
The garden of lilies, the garden of roses, promised to buy me a bunch of blue ribbons to tie up my bonnet brown hair. Oh, dear.
Ottawa, 35,000. High level 500.
What can the matter be?
Daddy's so long at the fair.
better stay there.
They sure make great toys for kids nowadays.
Yeah, they sure do.
I should get one of those for my wife. Keep her entertained for days.
Hello, Mrs. Whittaker. This is Bob Eden. Do you know if my wife has left for the airport yet? Oh, how long ago? Really? Okay, I'll wait for them here. Yeah. Thanks very much. Sorry to trouble you. I look forward to it. Bye.
Where the hell's that rescue truck?
Her name is Nina Eden.
What?
Nina Eden.
Get out of here, for God's sake, come on.
It's Nina Eden. Nina Eden.
Where the hell is that truck?
Where's she live?
I can't get the doors open. They're jammed. I can't get her out.
Was she alone? Steve, was she?
No, there's a child with her.
Is there anything you can do?
Send me a couple of tow trucks and the hydraulic jack. There's a kid bleeding to death.
Where's that truck?
I'm afraid the only one's in the township. And they say this is city. They can't send it.
Oh, do you know there's a couple of people dying in there?
We've got some ambulances coming, and the police department sent up some mechanics with a hydraulic jack. Maybe we can tear the car apart.
Mr. Robert Eaton, please report to the Air Canada Information Counter. Mr. Robert Eaton, please report to the Air Canada Information Counter.
I'm Bob Eden. You were paging me?
My name is Baldwin, Mr. Eden. Could I speak to you for a moment?
Hey, Doc, can you come here a minute?
Now, what is it?
The brake lines must have burst just when that guy cut in front of her. It's brake fluid, Doc. Hi, Sarge. Do you know Dr. Wojeck?
Yeah, how are you, Doc? Bad? What's that?
Brake fluid. Brakes must have failed.
I'm Dr. Schaefer. All right, come on, let's get that through.
I don't think you should see it, Mr. Eden. Please, Mr. Eden, let me take you home.
Easy, easy! kid too, Doc?
Damn fool's brought a husband. What am I going to tell him?